analysis of a journal article in linguistics. The title of the journal is Code Switching and Okay, before we start to hear about the explanation about the linguistic journal analysis, let me introduce myself first. My name is Adelia Agustin. I'm a group member of Group 2 that we have three. Okay, we have four main parts that divided to three members. The first is about research background and the theory that would be explained by Leni Nur Aini, and then research.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I'm Leni Nur Aini with student ID number 1917404012, and I will convey about the research background. In this article, the writer is focused on language code switching and code matching that's used by the teacher when they explain English subject to their student that has Indonesia mother tongue. In Indonesia, there are societies that often use more than one language within the daily activities, and the language come from the local and vernacular language, bahasa Indonesia, or even a foreign language. The use of double language usually takes place in the learning process of foreign language, particularly English. Especially in MA, KHS, Kampe Cirebon use Arabic, bahasa Indonesia, English, and vernacular. In this school, teacher employed consistently that bahasa Indonesia as the introductory language and English as the target language. The use of two or more languages in linguistics is known as bilingualism. Therefore, this research emphasizes the utilization of code switching and code matching in the learning process between teacher and student. Code switching is the changing of language using which is caused by social situation or situational language. Then, code matching is a speech as the is matching between two or more language without any language situation. That the language matching usually tend to make the communication comfort and understandable. This is an important study because so an analysis of types and factors of code switching and code matching, how the process of those word variation occur. Okay, that is all for me. If there is a mistake, I'm sorry, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Next is about theory. The research uses morphological theory because code switching and code mixing are types of language variation. Moreover, morphology is a word formation. Then the variation of. Hello guys, let me introduce myself first. My name is Adelia Agustin, and this occasion, I would like to explain to all of you about the methodology that used in this research. The research conducted in the article is a descriptive qualitative type. This type of research is usually about words or phrases obtained during the research process based on empirical facts. In the study, subjects were selected based on a random or expedient sample based on their degree of efficacy. The sample is voluntarily selected by anyone who happens to come across it, as long as the person is met the characteristic of the given sample. Therefore, the sample for the study were 5 parallel classes grade 11 MACAS, namely 11 Science 1, 2, 3, and 11 Social. Okay, the next is about the data collection technique and the data analysis. The data collection technique used in the study is a recording technique. They will use a video recorder to record the process of learning English, so they can explain the situation and get the data they need during the learning process. After the English learning process was recorded, the record was posted in a memo. The notes are used as data material for the analysis. Data analysis was performed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lailinda Hindun Nazulfa. I am from Group 2. I will explain the material about the result. In this research, writers are classified into 3 categories, namely code switching, code mixing, and factors behind the use of code switching and code mixing. Each type of both code switching and code mixing is analyzed from the grammatical aspect in accordance to the theory that has been previously elaborated. In the English learning process of grade 12, Emma has compared the use of code switching and code mixing by the English teachers is different depending on each conversation. The difference on the use of code switching and code mixing implies the types of code switching and code mixing that English teachers use in the learning process. Jadi, penulis itu mengklasifikasikan ke dalam 3 kategori, yaitu ada kode switching, kode mixing, dan faktor yang mempengaruhi penggunaan kode switching dan kode mixing pada pembelajaran di kelas 11 MA Has Compact. Okay, and then the types of code switching are identified based on the grammatical analysis. The first is type code switching. There are several types in code switching. Jadi di sini ada beberapa tipe code switching. A. Intersentential switching. Chunks occurred in the two language that occur in the form of sentence. Jadi di sini perubahan kode yang terjadi dalam 2 bahasa dalam bentuk kalimat. For example, in Indonesian and English language. Where is my book now? Where is my book now di sini adalah kode dalam bahasa Inggris. Kemudian beralih menjadi kode dalam bahasa Indonesia. Oke, kita lihat coba Salimah. And then B. Intrasentential switching. Chunks occurred in the two language that occur in the form of words only. Jadi di sini perubahan kode yang terjadi dalam 2 bahasa itu dalam bentuk kata saja. For example, in Indonesian and English language. Teacher, number 8 siapa? Siapa di sini adalah kode dalam bahasa Indonesia, kemudian beralih menjadi who wants number 8. Who di sini adalah kode dalam. And then the next is tag switching. Divided into 3 types. A. Interjection. Interjection in Indonesian is an exclamation point atau tanda seru. For example, teacher, sekarang kalian, you have to turn around the class, ya. Jadi setelah kata iya itu ada exclamation. And then B. Sentence filler. Sentence filler is a code switching in the form of a tag that aims to fill a sentence using an idiom before starting a conversation and does not imply any meaning or its existence is not meaningful enough. Jadi sentence filler itu kode switching yang menggunakan idiom sebelum memulai conversation atau percakapan di mana idiom tersebut tidak merubah suatu makna apapun. For example, teacher, well, nanti habis ini ambil jawabannya ya, kemudian kita bahas satu persatu. Jadi, well di sini itu sebagai idiom untuk memulai sebuah percakapan tetapi tidak merubah suatu makna apapun. And then C, the source maker. Just like sentence filler, this code is also called text switch code because it uses short idioms as marker. Jadi sama seperti sentence filler, dia juga menggunakan idiom. For example, teachers. Alright, luar biasa. Salam sebelah sini. Kok sebelah sini enggak? And then the factors behind the use of code switching. The first factor is quoting the teacher's text, clarifying the teacher's intention, giving instruction to student, also to make it easier for student in understanding the explanations given and the comments recommended. Basically, this method is very effective because some of students sometimes still have limited vocabulary, especially in the case of English, so that this code switching can help student understanding. Jadi dari beberapa faktor yang mempengaruhi penggunaan code switching, yaitu salah satunya memberikan instruksi kepada murid atau bisa juga untuk memudahkan murid dalam memahami penjelasan dari guru, karena beberapa murid kadang-kadang memiliki keterbatasan kosakata. And then 3 is type of code mixing. There are several types in code mixing. Jadi di sini juga menjelaskan tentang code mixing. Ada beberapa tipe dalam code mixing. A. Insertion is mixed code because is a mixed code between two languages where no language function as an autonomy or basic code while the other code only function as a fragment. For example, iya, malin kundangnya dikutuk. Iya dikutuk. Terus habis resolution ada apa? Jadi di sini itu dua bahasa, di mana bahasa yang satu berfungsi sebagai autonomi dan bahasa. And then next is B, alternation. The use of two different language structures into a single unit that has meaning. Jadi menggunakan dua struktur kalimat yang berbeda sehingga menjadi satu kesatuan makna. For example, teacher. We learn about narrative nanti hari Kamis. Jadi di sini menggunakan dua struktur yang berbeda, dua struktur bahasa yang berbeda, sehingga menjadi satu kesatuan makna. And then C, congruent lexicalization. Unit of words in English that have a position as a pedigree and adverb that become fragments so that they can form sentence. Jadi di sini congruent lexicalization itu kata yang dimana posisinya sebagai adverb and pedigree yang dapat membentuk sebuah fragment. For example, teacher, kamu lagi chatting sama hantu di Facebook itu. Di sini chatting itu sebagai adverbs. And then the last is factors behind the use of code mixing. Conversational habit, impression of being of modern.
Okay, all the material has been done, and then I'm sorry if we have a